Before we sculpt our eyelids out of clay, we need to look at some good reference photographs. You need to have a good idea of what the eye looks like, the shapes that you're trying to sculpt. There's a lot of really great reference available to taxidermists. It's on taxidermy.net. The trade magazines like Taxidermy Today and Breakthrough are full of reference materials. Every supply company has 3D reference and photographic reference. So I suggest that you invest in some of that and really memorize it, look at shapes, and learn what's going on before you ever start trying to sculpt. Notice that the lowest part of the eyelid is kind of in the back third of the eye, and the highest part of that eyelid is in the front third of the eye. If you just draw a line straight back from the pupil, you pretty much hit the back corner of the eye. From a straightforward frontal view, we can see the tear duct, and you notice that that skin rolls into the front corner of the caruncular really deep, and this area is always really full. This eyelid pulls right down and around, and this lid is actually pulled away from the eyelid slightly, and that's okay if you want to do that, or it could fit flush. And then our front crease of our eyelid starts right here running around. You don't want to be able to see the caruncular from the front, and you also don't want to be able to see this skin area here from the nose looking straight ahead. Live reference photographs are really good, but even better than that is if you have a live deer in a pen. Take your camera out if you're close to a zoo or some wildlife area that has deer in a pen, and make your own reference photographs. Studying live deer are actually the best reference available. I'm going to sculpt the eyes using this white critter clay. I prefer the white because what's underneath is lighter and my skin doesn't get as dark, so it requires a little less finish painting. The other thing I like about the critter clay is it's a limited shrinking clay. Once you've sculpted all this, you don't want things to move around after you tuck your eyelids. We're going to do our clay work in 3 steps. The first step will be to the lower lid, second step will be the front third, and the last step will be the upper lid. I want to start by just rolling out a small worm of clay, and I've got it about the shape of that hole there to put this in, and I'm just going to press it in. Carry this on around just about to the back corner. Now I can tell I have a little bit too much right there, so I'll go ahead and just roll some of that off. Second step, want to roll out another little small amount of clay, and that's about like a 22 bullet, I guess, size wise, and I want to press that into the front corner. And kind of blend that in. And then we're going to do the upper eyelid. If I can get this just about right. That looks pretty close. And we'll place this in and roll that in. And it looks like we need just a little more right here in this front corner. Now we want to use our water bottle and just spray a little bit. We can get this clay really nice and smooth. I don't want to feel any lumps or bumps down around where the clay matches up with the mannequin. I'm going to clean that eye off. Now we're going to refine this eye shape a little bit with our modeling tool. We want this front corner to just roll right in. It's kind of coming around and just dipping right back into the front corner of the eye. Same on the bottom. And now we want to get this nice bottom corner here. And remember from our reference photograph, the lowest part in this was right here in this back third. Kind of at the back side of this pupil, you can see this. And I'm gently modeling this. I'm not really bearing down on that glass eye very hard. I don't want to scratch it. From the front, it looks like we still need a little bit more clay on top of this. So we want to add just a little. Get our shape going. I want this to flow and look really soft. We're sculpting just kind of the basic relaxed eye. We're not going to really have him sleepy-eyed, but not real bug-eyed or alert either. Let's clean this off a little bit. Kind of look and see what we have here. We're now going to use our little small paintbrush. This is a number 16 brush, and we can soften this eye up really good with this. Go all the way around, get those lids and edges just extremely soft. We want to be sure we still have our rear vision, so I want to lower that back eyelid. Remember, if you put your eye in the front of the deer and look back, you shouldn't be able to see the back of the lid. Okay, that's got our basic eye shape. Now we want to come in here and work in the eyelid. For now, I'm just kind of making a generic eyelid. If you really wanted to get technical, you could actually get the cape out and measure and see where the actual eyelid was. But most of the times it's going to fit right in here in this slot we're going to make. And notice I'm actually angling up. That skin rolls right up inside there. I'm going to get my slot worked in. Then I want to come back and soften that up with that brush. Take your brush and squeeze the excess clay out and just insert it in that slot and go right back there with it. Then we can add a little more water. We're really beginning to soften up this crease. And next, we're going to take our wet brush, place it against the glass eye, and make a slot right under that clay. That'll leave a good eye tucking slot on the top and the bottom. Now notice on this eye, we're still showing a little white in the front, and we ran out of white before it started showing in the back. The lid also is going to take up a little bit of this space. It would be okay if just a slight amount of white showed in the back of this eye. On this Joe Meter eye, it usually doesn't do it. It just kind of browns out and softens up when it gets to the back corner. Now you notice we've done a moderate amount of detail on that eye, but we haven't really gone crazy with it yet. And the reason for that is when we put the skin on, we'll adjust some more things later. And we'll make some extra adjustments and fine tune everything then.